Hello, everybody, and I want to make something real new because I'm going to be rewatching. I gotta rewatch Eight All Out and see my full recap because I was busy celebrating like my my young brother's final time, in this house because he's going to a 4-year school. He's still gonna be nearby. It's like 20 minutes away or 40 minutes away. He won't be that far, and anytime he can come and visit. But other than that, enough with the personal crap. Football is back, and the only football that's in the regular season right now is college football. That Saturday, August 31st. It is now September 1st. So all you guys might be getting back to school, but there's still going to be basketball's going to be back in a month. Hockey's going to be back. Anybody who likes hockey, and of course, one of the bigger ones of all, college football. You can't go wrong with college football, and I want to do this. So, what's funner than recapping a college football game? And I thought I could do that to you to make sure I want to get more stuff involved, especially the bigger sports out there. So, what were the games I watched? Obviously, I watched my favorite team, the Oregon Ducks, face off against the Auburn Tigers. I haven't seen them even play since the national championship when Cam Newton was still on the Auburn team, being their Heisman winning quarterback. Now, I watched like 3, 4 games. I watched Northwestern play a team, saw Nebraska blowing out this one team. I saw Memphis have a close one with Ole Miss, and I saw Wisconsin versus the University of Southern Florida, and they got raped. They got raped. I heard some positives about this team. This was a really good defensively orchestrated team, but they were. I think this was expected. They nearly had exact identical records except for a game up from Wisconsin's point. They ended the season last year 8-5, and I did not watch a lot of college football. Sadly, I was more focused on the NFL. Thanks, I thought the Patriots were going to be dethroned. That did not happen. So, who were the top players to look forward to? Now there was I think this is a sophomore quarterback out of Jack Cohn, of course Jonathan Taylor, and of course my favorite players that were Zach Cohn, Matt Hennington. I think he got injured later in the game. Scott Nelson, Keanu Melton, and the secondary was completely fired the entire game. Like three takeaways in the second half. I think Jack Cohn is an all right passer. The person I was really disappointed about, and they were putting him in such high regard, like he was like technically a journeyman in college standards, since this is like the third team he transferred to out of Blake Barnett. He was, oh my god! Not only is his passing fundamentals crap, he could barely get it over the short passes. His offensive line. There was even a part where they thought of doing light pass blocking, and it looked like they were doing a slip screen, and Zach Cohn had to throw it off, or he got sacked. That was terrible. That was terrible, and coming over the entire game, it came to Heisman candidate from last year, Jonathan Taylor, marking got carrying the ball. The dude went crazy. I think he had 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns where he went for over 25 yards each. He got like 135, an average only 8.4 off the entire game. The dude was going beast the entire time. He's like breaking tackles all over here. He's messing defenders. I can see why he's such high regard on the team. Really, there was also Nakia Melton with 84. I think there was not that much going on in the rushing team. There was a lot good passing, even though like Jonathan Taylor was the most spokes guy. He went crazy, even though he only had 2 receptions that went for 48 yards. But they were still touchdown catches off his carries, and they really didn't have to do much as like there was like Jack Ferguson or Kendrick Pryor or Quentin Cephas. I think they're good deep threats. They're really good deep threats. And Danny Davis the third, but he didn't get that much catches. The defense was great though. I think that was the major positive. As much as Jonathan had a great time, the defense really held their own. They had like 2 interceptions, 10 sacks each, and they haven't freaking USF hasn't went into the opposing side for 3 straight quarters. They haven't even reached the red zone over the entire possession. So Wisconsin really held their own. And I had to say, what the fuck? That was a crazy blowout. I've seen college teams get blown out before, like 60 something points, 50 something points. Like it's not much. It's college football, so it's obviously going to be high scoring, highlight factored plays off young athletes. But this was just ridiculous. This was ridiculous. Blake Burnett went for 13 to 30 and threw 2 picks. He was lucky to even have 104, even though guys kept dropping the football like crazy. Jordan McLeod dropped the ball once, yet he still got 3 receptions. You only got 3 receptions, and you're still the leading receiver on your team with 17 yards. 17 yards in a minute and like an hour, in like a couple hours. How can you do that? Passing fundamentals were off. I felt the offensive line was terrible. The defense was passable, at least trying to pressure the quarterback. At times, they couldn't stop the running for the life of them. So, Jordan, Crocetti, Randall Sade, Felix. There was also Bryce Miller that missed 2 catches. There was a lot of drop passes in the first half, man. Watching USF ball was fucking terrible. I was just waiting for Jonathan Taylor to get back the ball and try to see what he can do to get 3 touchdowns off carries alone. I think that was the most exciting part of the game, other than him catching the football. It was terrible seeing them even try to get the football out of his hands. The defense was just piss poor as well. The backfield was eh. I think this didn't have any penalties than the Florida versus Miami game that happened a few days ago. I think a week ago now. But this was just awful. This was a terrible game for USF. Hopefully enough, I hope nobody gets fired from this. Oh man. Just look up what they have next on their schedule. Hopefully all of this can get cleared up. Because their next games they have South Carolina State. No, they have Georgia Tech. Oh no. South Carolina State, that seems like an easy win. Then they have SMU, Connecticut. And then BYU, even though I feel like they have a better team than the last few years. I saw BYU games. They're in the American Conference, so you're not going to see that many ranked teams. Even though there's some really good teams in UCF, that's been a great consistent part of the team. Even though the one-handed demon that's part of the Seattle Seahawks right now, the Shaquem Griffin with his own twin brother, and they have a good quarterback in there, and they're 17 in the country. And Memphis is great too. I saw their game. Cincinnati upsetted UCLA first week of the season, even though you fucked up Chip Kelly. And this was just this is just a starting point to maybe an on and off season for USF. I am more concerned about this team other than Wisconsin. They have way better threats on their hand. They're least talked about in the if they're going to be terrible. So this is just one of my college football videos, and I'm just gonna recap some of the college football games that caught my eye, and then that AEW video game might be uploaded today, tomorrow, or anytime I have free time. Monday is the last day I'm gonna be not busy, so but we just expect. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hopefully you like this recap from me. It's also subscribing, sharing, and liking the video. I want money. I want friends. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.